You've probably had this experience before. You wake up fully committed. You're going to be consistent this time. No excuses. And for a few days, maybe even a week, you actually are. Then one morning, you just don't. Not because something terrible happened. Not because you're lazy. You just didn't feel like it. And that one skip becomes two. And two becomes a month of telling yourself you'll restart Monday. Here's the thing most people get completely wrong about that moment. They think the problem was discipline. It wasn't.
In 2007, a team of researchers at Duke University published something that quietly changed how psychologists think about human behavior. They found that roughly 40% of what you do every day isn't a decision at all. It's automatic. The people we call disciplined, the ones who show up every single day regardless of how they feel, they aren't working harder than you. They aren't battling their emotions every morning and winning through sheer force of will. They've simply made the behavior automatic. But here's the part most people miss. That automation doesn't start with action. It starts somewhere much deeper.
Picture two people who both miss a workout. Person A says, "I broke my streak. I failed again." Person B says, "That's unlike me. I work out." Same missed session. Completely different internal architecture. Person B isn't more motivated. They're not more talented. They have a different answer to a question that most of us never consciously ask ourselves. Who am I when no one is watching? Psychologists call this identity-based behavior, and it's the invisible foundation that separates people who stay consistent from people who keep restarting. When your behavior is attached to an outcome, I want to get fit, it depends on desire, and desire fluctuates. When your behavior is attached to identity, I am someone who moves their body, it depends on self-concept, and self-concept is far more stable. Motivation is a feeling. Identity is a belief, and beliefs run deeper than moods.
Here's where the brain science gets genuinely interesting. Your basal ganglia, an ancient part of your brain sitting beneath your conscious thought, is essentially a pattern storage system. Every repeated behavior gets encoded there as a chunk of automatic processing. This is why you don't have to think about brushing your teeth. The basal ganglia already has the script. The prefrontal cortex, your conscious decision-making brain, is exhaustible. It gets depleted by choices, stress, and uncertainty. This is why discipline that runs purely on willpower always collapses. You're running a marathon on a battery that drains by noon. But habits stored in the basal ganglia, they run even when the battery is empty. Think about the last time you drove a familiar route while exhausted. Your basal ganglia drove the car. Your prefrontal cortex was barely present. Real discipline is the art of moving behavior out of conscious effort and into automatic execution, not through grinding, through strategic repetition tied to identity. So how do you actually build this? First, shrink the action until failure feels impossible. Not 2 hours at the gym, not a complete diet overhaul. One set, one page, 1 minute. The brain doesn't automate things it associates with pain and resistance. It automates things it associates with completion. Second, attach the behavior to who you're becoming, not what you want to achieve. Don't say, "I'm trying to write more." Say, "I'm a writer." Every time you show up, even for 5 minutes, you're casting a vote for that identity. Votes compound. Third, design for your worst day, not your best. Your system should function when you're tired, stressed, and unmotivated, because those days will come. If your routine requires ideal conditions, it isn't a routine, it's a wish. Imagine waking up 6 months from now, not fired up, not fueled by a motivational video or a fresh journal, just a regular Tuesday. And you do the thing anyway. Not because you forced yourself, not because you remembered your goals, but because this is just who you are now. That's not discipline in the way most people imagine it. White-knuckled, teeth-clenched resistance. That's something quieter. and far more powerful. It's a life that runs itself.
You were never undisciplined. You were just trying to build a skyscraper with willpower when what you needed was a foundation. The foundation isn't motivation. It isn't a better morning routine or a tighter schedule. It's the answer to one question, asked honestly. Who is the person I'm in the process of becoming? Answer that. Then act like them. Imperfectly, consistently, starting today. The brain will do the rest.
If something in this shifted how you think about consistency, share it with someone who's been stuck in the restart cycle. They might need to hear it more than you did. And subscribe, because every week we go a little deeper into the science of who you actually are.